Welcome back, everyone. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to delete these two functions, and I'm going to delete these two buttons here. And what we're going to do in this tutorial is we're going to change this text to something else here, because I'm going to show you that functions can do something else. So it's always good to make your buttons, and this may sound incredibly obvious, but it's always good to make your buttons say what they're going to do. So one is very ambiguous. You don't know what's going on, but if you say change the text, the user knows exactly what that's supposed to do, all right? So now if we click on this, again, it just still says 1 because that's what's in the JavaScript file. Now if we go ahead and we're going to go and delete that. Now, just for argument's sake, it's better to call your functions and name them appropriately as well. So function 1, 2, 3 is not exactly the best way. You want it to say, change the text. All right, and if we go ahead, and one trick I like to do is I like to copy this and I like to paste it in there like that. Okay, so we got change the text, and so now that we do this, it should work. And what you can do is one thing you can use the alert for, and sometimes I like to do, is just to see if it actually gets there and it does work. Okay, so the changing of the names, that actually it can be a problem, especially when debugging. You can change the name of the function, and then you make a typo or something like that, or something like that happens. All right. So what we need to do is we can't just say change the paragraph to this. Now that's exactly what we wanted to do. And remember that comment function. What we wanted to do is change the paragraph. And that's what P stands for, by the way, is paragraph text. So that's what we wanted to do. Now, wouldn't programming just be super awesome as if we could actually do that? But we can't do that. We have to actually learn the syntax of JavaScript here. So what we need to do is we need to type in ID equals, all right, and then this ID equals, and then we're going to type in 2 apostrophes, and we're just going to say something like paragraph text, just like that. Now you're probably wondering why I'm not adding in spaces, and the reason is that as soon as you add a space in the worlds of computers, that's like adding in a completely different object. So paragraph is kind of one computer object, and I'm oversimplifying here, but if paragraph is one computer object, paragraph space text is 2 computer objects, but paragraph no space text is 1 computer object. So we're just going to change it to ID paragraph text. Okay, so the next bit here is going to be a little bit of typing, but don't worry about this. What we need to do is this is just how we do it in JavaScript. So what you need to do is you need to type in document, okay, dot get element, and then by ID, okay, and you notice how I'm capitalizing everything there. It's very good to be case sensitive like this. And then what we need to do is, what I like to do is I like to type in 2 brackets here, and I also like to type in 2 apostrophes like that. And you want to do paragraph text just like that, or you can copy this over and put it in there. Okay. So what this small line of code is doing is saying we need to find the ID of paragraph text. Now the ID could be anything. It could be in the button. It could be anywhere. But what we're going to do is we're going to change the element ID, and we're going to change the paragraph text. But what do we need to change it to? Okay, we need to type in another dot, and we're going to type in inner HTML, and make sure HTML is capitalized, and we're going to equal this, okay, another 2 apostrophes, and we can change this to whatever we want. We say we changed the text, okay? And then we put a semicolon at the end of that because we're finished that. And you'll notice that the warning sign went away, and there we go. So we got, so first things first is that we set up the paragraph tag into paragraph text, and then in our JavaScript we found it, and that's what this document.getElementID does, is it finds that tag, and then what we need to do is change it here. And I'm just gonna put this here just like this. So that's what it should look like here, and if you want to do that, now I purposely have I have a bigger monitor, but the reason why I do this in such a small is so that it works better and people can see everything that I'm doing a little bit more. Okay, so if we go change the text, and voila, we have changed the text. Okay, and that's all it is. Right now, obviously, if we click it again, it works. It doesn't work because we've already changed it. Now, if we wanted to do two things back and forth, that we could do as well. Now, you'll also notice that you could do this. You could have an unlimited amount of paragraph tags. So if I just copy this over here, and I typed in paragraph text 2, right, and then I change the text, you'll notice that since I changed this element ID over here, the function only changed this first element ID. So I said function text 2, and then what happens is that it only changed paragraph text. Okay, so if we did paragraph text 2 like this, you can see that the bottom one changed. Okay, and that's how you change text, and that's how you can do anything within change the text within JavaScript. I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.